Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another Age of Empires 3 Thursday, and it's even more special than usual. And it's not because the British player is picking up 25 wood. Oh, no. You might be able to see from the extra large map and the abundance of colors, it is our first ever team game on the channel. I'm excited, but I'm also pretty apprehensive. You guys probably know by now that I have a hard enough time keeping track of 2 players. So keeping track of 4 is gonna be a trip, but it's gonna be a trip that we take together. Thank you for coming along on the ride. Now, I got this idea from a comment a couple weeks ago of somebody asking for some team games. I can't remember the name of the person. However, I will be showing the comment now. So thank you so much for your comment. I hope you're watching this. And it took me about a week or 2 to find a game that was actually compatible and a recent game and was actually 2v2. And when I found this one, I got pretty excited. So let's dive right into it. We are on the map Central Plains, which is a beautiful team map, if I do say so myself. Lots of food and a 5-slot trading post down the middle. Isn't that beautiful? So we'll see if that kind of becomes the point of conflict or if one of the teams decides to go very aggressive and put an FB past the trading post line. But we'll start with the team in the north. In the color red, we have K-Dubs, who is the Japanese. And he is around, he was around 1390 ELO when I looked. And his teammate in the color purple playing as the British, so Jabritain, the British player is Rogue Patriot, who is around 1360 ELO. So very similar. I'm pretty sure these two are friends because I think these are the guys that sent the replay, although I don't know who specifically uploaded it. So hopefully they're watching this. And GG, thanks for the replay, guys. And in the south of the map, playing in the color blue on Team 2 is Corbin Harbor, playing as the Aztecs. He is the highest ELO in this game at about 1420. And then his teammate in the color yellow, as the United States, we have Steven, who is at about 1280. So it's a mid-level game to be sure, but I'm sure it's also going to be an entertaining game. When isn't it? I mean, come on, it's Age of Empires 3. There's never a dull game of AOE3. Now, Japan going with the forward trading post. And let me take a look at our first shipments here. So it looks like our players are already aging up. Britain sent 3 villagers, because of course. America sent German immigrants, because of course. And Japan sending 300 food, which is kind of become the new standard for Japan. And I like it. I like seeing Japan kind of back in the spotlight. Definitely not a top tier Civ by any means, but I do like seeing them back in action. Now, I was looking at the chat. Maybe you were looking as well during the intro. I think we might be seeing some Ashy Longbow play from Jabritain, which that actually surprises me. It surprises me that these guys are not going to try to boom and perhaps wall and maybe even turtle on this half of the map. They might even go aggressive, which is not something you always expect for Britain and Japan, 2 pretty eco-heavy civs, although they can both do Age 2 pressure, so definitely don't count them out. And then as far as Corbin, he sent his 3 vills, and then he also sent Calendar Ceremony, which ships the 1 warrior priest. So definitely kind of doubling up on the Age 1. Now, when I look at Corbin, who again is the highest ELO in the game, I noticed something very, very quickly, and that is that he has got no military shipments in his deck. None. Now, I did take a look, and I did see, where is it? This card, no, where is it? This card here, the Smoking Mirror, which basically makes the Aztec War Chief an absolute monster, and I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen from the Aztec player. Although, if we look here, oh my gosh, that is such an aggressive forward base. Look at that. That's 1 screen away from the Aztec Town Center. And we have a barracks and a barracks. So, yep, definitely going to see Ashy Longbow. Or maybe Musk Yumi, but it makes more sense to go Ashy Longbow. and even the outposts. So this is going to be that was disgusting. We are going to see a pretty strong forward base here. It also covers a couple of hunts, which I think one of those is even the Aztecs' third hunt. So that's going to be really good for Team Gibritan. Meanwhile, the U.S. kind of going for a balanced build. Nothing super boomy, but at the same time, not going hyper aggressive. Just putting a barracks in his base. And Aztec not putting down a single war hut yet. Sending 3 warrior priests, and I am so confused by what the Aztecs trying to do right now. What is the plan? No forward war hut, no defensive war hut, no coordination with the US player. He's stocking up a lot. Oh, is he going for an FF? FF into some like weird war chief play? I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see weird war chief play, FF, and then maybe just like start shipping mercs. This is such a weird build. I don't know if I like it. I mean, what's wrong with H2 Slinger Coyote composition with some US regulars mixed in? I feel like that would be so much stronger. Yeah, he's sending 600 coin. Oh no. Oh my. Is that a war hut? No, it's a market. Oh. Okay. Well, Corbin has, he has no idea this FB is here. Does his teammate? Okay. So neither of Team 2, neither US or Aztec know that this forward base is here, and they have no idea that 10 Ashy and 10 Longbow are barreling towards the Aztec base. Meanwhile, the Aztec is sending 600 coin, and he just sent 3 warrior priest. He doesn't have a war hut. Please tell me the US player has military. He's got some Minutemen and regulars, but... And look at this, Team Gibritan just going right for the jugular here. Gonna try to kill one of these warrior priests, but they are quite tanky. I don't know if I love the decision to siege the town center here. I mean, I get it, but I think maybe looking for these vills, because you know he's going to be gathering food somewhere. Like, you know that wasn't all his vills. You only saw like 4 warrior priests go in that town center. Although, I don't know, those Ashies are doing quite a number. The US Army stocking up here. More regulars, more Minutemen. And the only soldier for the Aztec Army is the war chief, Chief Ceaseless Discharge. Who is at 750 hit points. Holy crap. I think the Aztec Town Center is going to get saved here. It's still at 3,300 hit points, and yeah, I don't know if I love Team Gibritan going for the town center right away, especially when they could have. Yeah, okay, so now the Ashy are kind of raiding these vills, which they should have been doing earlier, but now is better. Oh my gosh, so many vills going down here. Meanwhile, the Longbow's trying to hold off the US Army, but gonna get killed by the US Army, and more importantly, by this buffed up Aztec war chief. And some warriors coming out for Aztecs here. I don't think it's gonna be able to, well, no. I think they might hold this. Yeah, they are gonna hold it, but a lot of villagers going down. And Chief Ceaseless Discharge is still at 450 hit points. All of the Longbow now dead. Gonna get out with the Ashy using their superior speed. I think that's really smart. More regulars coming for the US player. More Longbow coming for the British player. And villager counts are currently 22 for US, 23 for Japan, 11 for Aztec. Oh my sweet lord. Okay. I think Aztec is pretty much crippled beyond repair here, right? He's at 11 vills. He's going up to, oh my god, he's going up to the 3rd age. He's going up to the 3rd age. He still doesn't have a war hut. No military. Just a war chief that currently is at 330 hit points. And Ashley's coming down for another raid. I like this. I like the proactive use of the army. More longbows being stocked up. And 6 longbows coming in for Rogue. Steven is getting Amalgamation, which I've made this mistake before. Amalgamation with only 23 vills is not worth the investment. It really isn't. So I get why he's doing it, because I've made that mistake. You know, you think you're like boosting your economy to a stupid, enormous degree, but maybe those resources could be used for something a little bit more impactful at this point of the game. Not saying you shouldn't get amalgamation. It's a great upgrade, but just not now. Because the Gibbriton team has already built up their mass, and look at this second push. We've got, oh, hold on, let me get to the right player here. Oh, no, I'm getting off the action. Okay, we've got 17 Ashy, along with what looks to be, ooh, wow, 21 Longbow. Now, I don't know, Steven has a nice mass of militia and regulars here, but the War Hut is not going to go up for the Aztec player, and Corbin, still no units. He's got, oh man, this is so, like, I just don't like this. The war chief going down. He's in the third age, but he's got 8 villagers. 8 villagers. 8 villagers, 1 war hut, third age, and mercenary cards. The Prowler Knight's gonna get in here, and I think, is the U.S. Army gonna hold them off again? Look at Steven. What a teammate. He is, I think he has single-handedly saved the Aztec base twice. He's getting out a lot of units, actually. You know, for having the lowest ELO, I've been really impressed with Steven's play so far. I mean, I get what Corbin's trying to do here. It's a fun build, but it's left him so vulnerable to the H2 pressure. Maybe he thought that Britain and Japan would just boom, which I mean is fair, but now Japan's going up to the third age, and I'm guessing Britain's not far behind him. What's Britain doing? They're sending the 7 German cavalry. Okay. So gonna add some extra composition. I mean, against the regulars, that's not gonna be great, but look at that war chief. Let's see. Let's see. He's at 2,200 hit points. Did Corbin send? Oh my goodness. He did. He sent Smoking Mirror. The Aztec player has an area of effect attack now and has 2,200 hit points. He's going to go down here. The 7 Totenkopf Hussars are out. Not going to do much against this U.S. Army, though. They're pretty squishy. They're kind of like the H2 mercenary equivalent of Uhlans, which H2 mercs are already pretty squishy to begin with. So he's going to want to be careful with those. Maybe try to raid this this booming Aztec economy, all 12 villagers here. But I gotta admit, I'm kind of excited to see Ceaseless Discharge. Look at that! He just killed 2 cav with 1 swing. Meanwhile, the U.S. Army, oh my gosh. These regulars are doing so well. Oh no, Longbow, get out of there. What are you doing? 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 Don't get in range of that war chief. Even some coyotes coming out, okay. No way they hold this a third time. How is Aztec surviving with 12 villagers at the 13? Well, America. Okay, that's why. I was perplexed until I realized that the U.S. Army has basically been in the Aztec base since the 7-minute mark and has not left. Meanwhile, look at this war chief eating up so much damage. Now he's at 1,400 hit points. That's just disgusting. However, I do want to point out that Japan is in the third age. He's got 4 flaming arrows, and Rogue is already on his way. He's 75% of the way aged. And those flaming arrows just do not give 2 hoots about that war chief's HP. And you got to remember, every time that Japan kills that war chief, that's 160 XP. That's basically 2 passes from a town center just from killing that war chief. And back he comes. Ceaseless Discharge. Say what you want about him. You know, you might argue that he is a general of a non-existent army. You may argue that his investment may have been spent in units, but you cannot deny the man's tenacity. And oh my god, are we gonna have a stealth kill? Who cares about the fight? Look at this. Chief Ceaseless Discharge coming around, gonna kill. Just straight up. That flaming arrow got deleted. Oh my god. And this actually isn't looking horrible for the Aztec U.S. Army, although a lot of these regulars are going down now. There's a lot of longbow in the mix, about 20 longbow. And, oh man, if K-Dubs had the discipline upgrade for his Ashigeros, I felt like that fight would have been a lot better. And look, he's coming back! Round 2! Aztec Boogaloo! And immediately gets shot down, even though my camera... I really got to get better at controlling my camera. I'm using more of the drag rather than the clicking and arrow movements, but, you know, it's a work in progress. And the disciplined Ashi are here. Veteran Longbow is almost here. What in the world is the other team doing? Steven is making... Yeah, he's making regulars, he's making Hussar, he's doing everything he can, and meanwhile, Corbin is sending Arrow Knights. Okay, he's building a Noble's Hut. I don't know really what Arrow Knights are going to do here. I mean, they're going to kill the 2 flaming arrows, that's cool, but what is it going to do against 25 veteran longbow and disciplined Ashigero? I think this game is pretty much over. The reason why I'm still finding it so entertaining is that Aztec war chief has died, I want to say 7 or 8 times. And he just keeps coming back. And you love to see it. But it's getting pretty out of hand here. Even the U.S. Army is not going to be able to say, ooh, look at that catch. Really nice job by Steven. And see, this is why I've been very impressed, okay? You come in, you got the lowest ELO. You know, the next guy above you is like 80 ELO above you, right? And yet, Steven has been playing this as well as he can. I mean, for having a teammate that's made approximately like 10 military units, Steven's been holding out really well. Now, I don't want to take too much from Corbin here, as his base just gets absolutely demolished. If Japan had boomed, and Britain had boomed, like they usually do, maybe this would have worked, and maybe the war chief alongside an actual army would have been really hard to stop. Because I can imagine, if that war chief is mixed in with a batch of like 15 coyotes, that would be an absolute nightmare. However, by itself, the war chief doesn't really do a lot except make us giggle. And the British player even has Jaegers. Wow. So going heavy into the light infantry department, it's basically going to mean that US can no longer make regulars. And let's check in on the economy, shall we? 41 vils for the US. So, Steven, continuing to do a good job. 38 for Japan. 14 for Aztec. And 68 for Britain. So, definitely a heavy lead for Team Jabritain. And this is just a nasty combo. We might have the makings of a really, really, really nice synergy in team games. Britain and Japan, I really like what they can pull off. Whether you go like, I could see Musk Yumi working really well. I could see, I mean, Ashy Longbow is really effective. Yeah, I really like the synergy that these two guys have. I think if it got to late game and it was a less food abundant map, I think you'd have problems with Japan trying to shrine and Britain eating all of the food in sight. But let's check in on our Aztec player. He's got a community plaza. He's got villagers making a new town center in the corner. And besides that, he doesn't really have a lot here. His warrior priests are all going to die, or at least they're going to get driven off of their community plaza. So no dancing for you, gentlemen. It's the colonial version of Footloose. Dancing is illegal. Meanwhile, these sharpshooters, they are going to get absolutely decimated. And this army of longbow has gotten to critical mass, and it is going to be almost impossible to beat. And along with 32 disciplined Ashi, a daimyo, and yeah, even some Yumi mixed in, 48 longbows, all with the veterancy upgrade. And I'm sensing the GG at any time. Steven drops the GG, and there it is. So, that was something. I don't know what to say about that build. First off, well played to Team Jabritain. K-Dubs and Rogue, nice job. I can definitely tell you guys play often. because the coordination with your FB and the push on the Aztec player and the focus of the Aztec player and the composition and the taking fights only when you guys were together, I think that was all very good. So I don't have a lot to add to you two. Oh my God, look at this wall. You know, just in case you get a raid from that 12-ville Aztec economy. You never know. Okay, maybe this is my one criticism. Maybe this wall wasn't exactly necessary, but whatever. I mean, you got 600 wood. You're sitting on like 1 billion resources. Who cares? As far as Steven, nice job. If you ever watch this, really liked how you played. I'm going to be honest, felt like there were a lot of fights where you were just kind of on your own there. And for being on your own, you held out extraordinarily well. Now, granted, you had a very strong civ, but I'm not going to take anything away from you. And Mr. Corbin, if you see this, absolutely no shade, man. I appreciate a Mimi build like I appreciate a good whiskey. But this one definitely did not have enough time to age because I think this FF into a War Chief build is a little too slow the way you played it. I definitely like the Aztec FF. I think it's viable. But the fact that neither of you scouted out the FB and the fact that you didn't have a war hut up until 9 minutes into the game, I think that's just, it's going to kill you every time. And when this build does work, that's awesome. However, I think unless you guys are going turtley with walls and just playing very defensive, I think it's really tough to have one teammate defend another teammate until they can get to age 3 and they can mass up Arrow Knights along with a beefed up War Chief. It just, maybe if you optimize it, it'll be a lot better. But maybe try some traditional Aztec. I don't know if Aztec's a new civ or if you're just getting bored with the civ. But again, all of this is prefaced with the statement that play how you want to play, right? There's no judgment here. And you certainly made for a very entertaining player to watch. So that is a compliment in and of itself. But I hope you guys enjoyed this team game. I would love to cast some more team games. I am thinking that the next team game I try to find maybe is a little bit in the upper levels. So if I can find something in the 16, 17, maybe even 1800 ELO range, I'll definitely bring that to you guys. Otherwise, expect the regular 1v1s and the series with Evolution. I am still in the works. We're getting a date nailed down, and we should be able to sit down and cast all of those games soon. And trust me, there will be plenty to critique because it was a series, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. But until then, until next Thursday, I hope you guys have a great week. See you later.